I went to Orscheln's today and picked up these 3 bags. And so I'm going to put about half of each in here in just a few moments on top of the cocoa core, which I already had. And I'm going to mix that up really well and then begin my winter sowing method. I do use the Happy Frog potting soil mix on my indoor plants. Of course, this is not a sponsored video. I just want to show you what I'm going to use, okay? Let's get started. This right here is what our soil looks like, all mixed in together. I ended up using the entire bag of Espoma organic garden soil, and with it I added our Miracle-Gro potting mix and Happy Frog potting soil, which contains worm castings. I used rubber gloves, mixed it up really well, and now it's time to begin our winter sowing. So if you'd like to see how I do that, just stick around. It's now time for the fun part, which is planting our seeds. But before we get to that, I'm just going to show you the containers that I'm going to use today. Here we have what once contained orange juice. And as you can see, we will not need the cap any longer. I cut around this container once it was washed and dried, and I've hinged it here. And we will eventually tape this shut. But I've also put holes in the bottom. I used a hot glue gun, and because I was using a small hot glue gun, it didn't do that great of a job, so I had to use my scissors, snip the pieces of plastic off here, and it was a bit time consuming. Since this is my 3rd year doing this, I say this every year, that I'm gonna save my containers. But moments ago, I was using a knife and I cut my finger here. So I have decided that, yes, I am going to save these. Anyway, there is one container I will be using. And then in this, I'm going to be planting leafy greens. I'm gonna make a little salad mix. This container once had donuts in it. And you'll see that I have holes in the top, and I also took scissors and cut slits in here. And then I did the same with the bottom. So this will be like a little mini greenhouse. Now the easiest, I think, to do is cups from fast food restaurants that are clear. And you can see I've got holes in the bottom just for drainage. And then here's the lid. And then here's just one more. Same concept here. So you can see that slit there. And I have several other containers, but I am just going to show you real quick what this looks like, okay? Now, as far as our seeds go, I will show you the seeds that I'm going to be planting. I have a lot of things to plant this year. Today, I'm definitely going to be doing the salad mix in this container here that I showed you. I'm going to be winter sowing several other things. I've got a seed binder that I started, and it's been quite helpful. Here's the lettuce mix that I will be using, and in with that I will plant some spinach seeds in there, and then let's see if I have anything else that I would want to put in there. Might just be those 2 things for now. Let's see, yes. Okay, I have some other seeds coming in the mail that I've ordered. Now, I'm curious to see how the rest of you organize your seeds. I'm always looking for a way to simplify, and I like to recycle things. So please let me know if you have a way of organizing your seeds. I have just scooped up a nice amount of our mixture of soil, and now I'm going to take this over to the sink and add some warm water and stir it around until it's about the consistency of brownie batter. Then we'll add it to the containers, put our seeds in, and label and tape shut. Then it gets to go outside, and guess what? It's snowing. So here we go. Needs a little bit more. Now we're just gonna stir it around really well here. Okay, our soil is nice and moist, and it is time to do what I've been waiting to do, plant our seeds. You may think this is a little strange, but I am going to take a thin paper towel. I've not seen this done like this, but this is a little experiment here. Because of the holes on the bottom being quite large, I am simply laying this thin little paper towel down. It's so thin that you can actually see through the container here, but I'm putting that down just because I don't want the soil to fall out and make a huge mess. So I'm going to dump our soil in here, just like so, and I'm doing this one-handed. You can imagine I'm making a mess. That's why I have a towel down here on top of the stove. But now that I've got that in there, I am going to just kind of spread it around here in our container, just like this, okay? So here we are getting ready to put our seeds on top of the soil in our little mini greenhouse that we're making with WiNtEr sowing method. I'm going to be using lettuce, sorrel, and spinach. To do that, I sprinkle heavily on top of this pre-moist soil mixture that we have here. That was the spinach. Now here goes the lettuce. And I'm doing this by shaking it. And I'm putting a lot of seeds on here because I want to be able to go out and cut this as baby greens and let it continue to grow. And we will get several cuttings for our salads. This is sorrel, so I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of that on this as well.
I think that's good enough there. It doesn't have to be perfect.
I am going to close the container, and you can see it latches here, which is nice and handy. And I will put some tape along this as well, you know, just from top to bottom. Won't be the prettiest thing, but it will make sure that it stays nice and closed like that. I wrote on the outside sorrel, lettuce, and spinach, and I put the date on there. And then I'm going to lift this up and show you the paper towel there. The next thing I'm going to plant will be Chinese red meat radish. Woo, I might have put a few too many seeds on there. We shall see. And add some of our pre-moist soil just to cover them up. And next we will put our lid on. And as you can see, I've cut a hole in the middle of this lid. I will press the lid down and voila. I will put these outside now. And again, it's snowing, as I showed you earlier. Very excited about WiNtEr sowing. It always puts a pep in my step. I look forward to watching these seedlings grow, and I appreciate you watching. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.